And I pulled a lot of this information just from like Doane website and doing like prior research as well. So hopefully we'll see if I did a good enough job on that.
Okay.
I did a decent job with Dustin. I found out some stuff about him, but so I'll just kind of like read it off and I'll ask
We
you
can fact check a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I'll need to.
Okay.
Here we go. Tell me more about your time in the program and how that has kind of challenged or changed the way you think about coaching.
Well, like I said, I didn't run cross in high school. And so when we talk about guys now coming from 5K high school cross to 8K,
right.
It's like, what's the transition like? And I say, well, it's better than mine when I went from 0 to 8K. But
sure.
I also wasn't really prepared for my freshman year, running wise or school wise. And so that changes how I look at freshmen coming in, trying to get them prepared for the whole thing, right? I want them to be prepared for running, but also classes and studying, things like that they may have never had to do before in high school. So I think my experience definitely changes a lot of that. And then, you know, I was able to develop quite a bit just by putting the time in. And so I kind of give people that hope too, like put the time in, good things can happen.
It says here, you took over the Tiger cross country program in 2002 after serving as an assistant the previous 3 years. Since taking over, Brad was named GPAC Coach of the Year in 2006, and you produced, forgive me if I'm wrong, this is the fact-checking part, 67 NEI Scholar athletes, 9 All-American finishes, and 3 individual conference champions.
I suppose.
Somewhere in there, somewhere in those numbers.
I haven't kept too much track.
How do you prioritize your athletes with 67 NEI Scholar athletes and multiple times of like getting a GPAC like Scholar athlete teams, stuff like that, and you've maintained a really high GPA average like every single time. The cross team always like outperforms like a lot of other teams on campus. Do you find that like almost as a reflection on when you struggled as a freshman coming in? Is that why you prioritize it a bit?
Part of it is that. Part of it is the group naturally is pretty strong academically when we recruit them. But I hope that part of what we do to prep them for the first semester and communicate with them and encourage them to communicate with us and all those things then help that piece too. And then I think just the team in general knows that academics is important. They talk about it amongst themselves, and so hopefully we've just planted that seed and it sort of keeps going.
Yeah. The numbers kind of do speak for themselves.
Well, really we encourage the younger ones too to communicate with their upperclassmen. So if they're not comfortable coming to the coach. But I had this question the other day, and I think that part of what the younger ones see is how comfortable the upperclassmen are with us as coaches. And so the underclassmen right away, they know that they can come to us. I think that helps.
Did you find it difficult this year with only having 2 upperclassmen really?
Right. One of the reasons on the women's side we really pushed to get those 2 old ladies back is because we knew that leadership would be so great and that this team could really take off with great leadership. They've done it.
On September 25th, Chemo traveled to Omaha to the Nebraska State Courthouse to pledge his oath. He was accompanied by Doane head cross-country coach Brad Jenny and said he was really nervous but eager for the day as well. It was great to have Coach Jenny on board and to experience my journey in becoming a citizen of the United States, Chemo said. My gratitude goes out to all the people who helped me throughout the process, especially Coach Jenny and my cross-country family and friends. He continues, at a team gathering the evening he received his citizenship, he was presented with the United States flag by his coaches and teammates. I just love this part. The next day at the Dean White Invitational, Chemo was the top collegiate finisher. During the presentation of medals, Coach Jenny introduced him as the newest American in front of his teammates. Tell me more about your coaching philosophy. What makes you do the things you do for your athletes?
I don't know, I think that it's just everybody's on their own journey, and it's interesting to me to get in on some of that. I have some experience with my family. I've got a brother-in-law from Argentina, and so I kind of understand the things that he does and goes through, I suppose. And my family's traveling all the time, but that opened my mind when I got to go to Argentina and do some things there. But everybody just has their own background, their own story, and you kind of got to get to know that. It makes you understand why they do the things they do sometimes, and we all have to be individuals, and then hopefully then that can come to the team and be a great part of the great team. I think that's how the team can can grow and really achieve at a high level is if we allow people to be themselves, right? If we try to pin them into a certain mold, it just doesn't work. And this allows them to grow and be themselves, enjoy the journey, and I think that they take off as runners, as people. So
Great.
for me, it's the only way to go.